What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Cardiar Fresh from CardiarFreshTV, and today we're doing another video about credit. This video, we're going to do a recap of what I've done so far from the previous videos and seeing what's the results of it. Because I know that's what we all want to know. Like, okay, cool, you've been telling us about these things, but what's the impact? All right, so cool. But first, before I do any of that, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for coming, checking out the video. If you like the video, like the content, and want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Make sure you have the notification bell lit so that you can stay up to date on all the videos that I'm dropping. And for those who are already subscribed, thank you for coming back and checking out another video from yours truly. I promise you this stuff here works. I'm telling you because I'm dropping videos as I see the progression. I'm not going to speak on nothing that I'm not sure about, like personally trying. So I just want to put that out there. Now, let's get into this. So for those who want to know, a couple weeks ago, I started dropping videos, maybe a month ago. I started dropping videos about credit and how they can help you, doing this and doing that and so on and so forth. Well, now that we're starting to get some things on my credit history and now that some things are starting to get removed, just to go ahead and jump to it, I'm pretty much at a 700 right now. And for those who remember like my first couple of like credit videos, I was at like a 553 or 556 or something like that. And that wasn't too long ago. That was less than 6 months ago, like literally less than 6 months ago. So I know people are like, well, Cardiar, then give us the formula on how you did it. I mean, I did already, but I'll go ahead and do it again because I'm telling you, if you haven't tried this, you need to try it. Installments, revolving, like getting things removed off your credit, and I'm telling you, it helps. And all of this was done without having my credit checked. Like, that was the key thing. So first thing I did was I decided to personally hire somebody to go and do my disputes. I didn't have the time. I know there's 611 letters, 609 letters, and that you can actually write yourself, and they're pretty much templates and send them out to, the 3 bureaus or whatnot. I personally just didn't have the time, just to be honest with you. I just didn't. So I hired somebody else. So after that, they got a couple things from like student, old student loans that were gone, were like late payments from when I first graduated out of college and didn't even know that I was going to have to pay immediately as soon as I got out of college. I was like, oh, okay. So a lot of those things from like, we're talking about 2010, that I'm like, oh man. So we had a couple of those things removed, and now we're like, okay, cool. That brought us up a good 30 points or so, because not a lot was removed, to be honest with you. Like the dispute letters, they only work if the person or the company or the institution or whoever it may be isn't on their job. If they're on their job, which is why they are successful the way they are, they're not going to have a lot of hiccups that you're going to be able to say, ha-ha, off of, So I knew immediately I needed to do something else. I also knew from the people that I was working with that I needed to make sure that my credit was not being checked during this process. So I started researching how to do things, and that's when we came up with the Credit Strong. That's when we came up with CFE. That's when we came up with Trigrain, Tumo Credit, and so forth. So far, I have tried Trigrain, which I've gotten numerous amounts of points from. It takes about 2 months. I'm being honest with you. It takes about 2 months before you even see anything. I think maybe 3. And then CFE, they report on the 15th of every month, and I want to say Credit Strong as well. Those two helped me out tremendously. Those installment ones helped me out tremendously. Like when I say I was getting like 10 points, 11 points, 8 points. Every time they reported, like literally it helped my credit score go up. Now that didn't make the hugest impact because remember I was at like 550 something, So even with 30 points, you're still in the 500s. Even with another 20 something points, you're still in the 500s or barely knocking on the door 600. You can't get no house or no car with barely a 600 credit score and expect it not to pay high interest rates and so on and so forth. So I was like, that's good, but not quite good enough. So as I said in previous videos about the stimulus checks as they came and taxes as well, I was like, you know what? this would be a great opportunity to go and negotiate and pay off some old debts. So I called one of the credit card people. Hey, I know I owe you, blah, blah, blah. Can we work out a deal? You know, I'm trying to get a house, or this and the third. Well, we're going to talk about that later. I'm not actually trying to. Actually, never mind. It's in the works, though. Just know that. But I'm like, all right, cool. And they was like, well, yeah, sure, you know, blah, blah, blah. And we came up with a number that was manageable. Honestly, I only had to pay 40% of what I owed for it to be gone, removed, paid off, closed, in not a negative way, in a positive way, so I can get back at least 25, 30 points. And only had to pay 40%, but it was for me calling them and saying, hey, I want to do something. These people will work with you because they'd rather take some money than get no money, especially if it's been over a couple years and they haven't received a dime. Oh, they are definitely like, okay, well, what can we do that, you know, is manageable? Second thing was an old bill that I had, and I was like a medical bill, but it was causing me like 23 points. And it was like less than $200. It wasn't even supposed to be on my credit. That's the crazy part about it. But I said, you know what? Let me pay it off. I'll get reimbursed later on. No biggie. So then I did that. So now I got the credit card one and I got the medical bill one. I didn't have really too much in collections or too many, you know, things, you know, that were in the negative or delinquent or nothing like that. You know, just few late payments in my history, but most of them were tied to the credit card or to a payment that I had just finally got paid off. So that's what really made the biggest difference, because I'm telling you, personally speaking, when you out here trying to get you something, a car or a house or whatever it is, these people want to know what your credit score is, and most importantly, they want to know, like, how long have you had that? You know, so by another 3 months, it'll show that I've had at least majority of my new credit for at least 6 months. So at 6 months, I'm normally in that area. Okay, it's been long enough. You know, it hasn't been that long, but it's been long enough for them to say, okay, cool. Especially if you've gotten rid of your negative, you know, reports and remarks on your history. Like, that helps. So now it's just like, I think I got one more thing to deal with, and then I'm planning on actually using the credit card. What is it? The credit builder card. If you go to creditbuildercard.com, I've spoken about them before, but they're great. Malika JC actually just started her account with them. I'm actually about to start mine as well. And as you know, I got several debit and credit cards, so adding another one to the collection is like, okay. But it is helping tremendously. So word of advisory to sum this up, if you're really trying to go from a 500 to a 700 in less than like 6 months, the easiest route to do, send them letters first. It takes about 60 days. During them 60 days, you need to be figuring out, okay, who I know for sure I'm just going to have to pay back. Because we know who we have to really pay back and who we may be able to get removed. You know, if you're being honest with yourself, just be honest. Okay? Be honest with yourself. just do that. Secondly, what we can't get removed through those letters, we need to negotiate and figure out what can we pay to get it removed, or at least to get things back into good standard. If you can't pay it off in full, at least negotiate what you can do to get it back in good standard, at least. That helps. Thirdly, once you've done that, you want to add positive credit. So that's why I say during that 60 days, you might want to start actually going and adding some credit, like how I did with CFI or Trigrain or Tumo credit, or the extra card that I was telling you about, or with Credit Strong or credit builder card. Like, there's a lot of places out there that don't do any credit checks. They only base it off of your bank usage, and that's pretty much it. And they give you credit, and it helps. Like, seriously. So you do those right there, I promise you, in less than 6 months, you should be knocking on the door for 700. Now, you know what you owe. Now, if you know that you ain't paying off the stuff that you owed, and you got still a whole bunch of delinquent things on your credit, and you think just because you purchase a couple, you know, installment accounts, or some credit lines of credit or getting a revolving credit card. That's going to no. It's going to help balance things a little bit, you know, the negative with the positive, but it ain't going to really help because these people who are checking your credit, they know. You know what I mean? So much of that negative credit you can get it off as much as possible, okay? So now on the next video, we'll probably be talking about a couple other things, you know, for those who are aware of some of these lines of credits, like Get That Jewelry, I believe AG Jewelers, and maybe one or two others are no longer reporting. You know, I've been told this before, and I apologize to anybody that was like, no. Well, apparently, a couple of the places that I have mentioned in the past have stopped. That's just being honest. They have stopped, or they're taking extremely longer than normal to report because now they're having to use different things because these credit bureaus are now considering these other people like Get That Jewelry and so on and so forth. These lines of credits, like they're like, those memberships, nah, that's not really saying too much for us. So we don't really count that, and they can do that. So for those who've been wondering, like I said in my first video, I'm not a big fan of lines of credit, but I know they do work for those who know how to work them. Me personally, I didn't think it was suitable, and come to find out, I was right. Just didn't know I was that right. So shout out to those who've been putting me up on game and in the comments saying, hey, bro, it ain't popping like that no more. You know, hey, my bad. I apologize. Thank you for the insight. You know, keep letting me know. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm bucking against you, hey, the truth gonna come to the light. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mind saying I'm wrong. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody who's giving me insight on that. So just want to throw that out there real quick. But other than that, man, y'all know what it is. Y'all know exactly what I've been doing. And if you haven't been watching the videos, go back and watch them, because I promise you everything that I've done to go from a 550 something to a 700 credit score, it's in them videos. I promise you, it's in them videos. So anyways, thank you guys for watching and staying tuned. We'll have more videos to come up in the near future. And of course, I will be doing my regular videos as well. So you know who it is. It's your boy Cardiar Fresh from CardiarFreshTV. You know my slogan. I got the recipe, baby. Now let's cook. Peace.